If the next panel could come up to the front of the room, please. Well, at the end of the day, however you view evidence or interpret it, it comes a time when we have to apply it. And this next discussion really is going to go deep into thinking about questions about how we take the evidence that we do have, the knowledge we do have about violence prevention, and apply it. And it's going to begin to ask questions about how do we more effectively communicate knowledge about evidence? What are the best strategies for implementing and scaling up evidence-based prevention programs? What are the barriers and opportunities for such strategies? And what are some unique challenges faced by low and middle income countries? I'm going to introduce the speakers, all of you first, and then you can just come up. And so I'm going to introduce them in the order they'll be speaking. Our first speaker is Julie Meeks Gardner. Julie is a professor of child development and nutrition and the head of the Caribbean Child Development Center within the Consortium for Social Development and Research of the University of the West Indies. Her work is focused on nutritional status and child development of children in difficult circumstances, on issues of children and violence. She was the lead researcher on the Caribbean Region Report on Violence Against Children for the UN Secretary General's Global Report. After Julie, Kathy Ward will be speaking. Kathy is an associate professor in the Department of Psychology at the University of Cape Town, South Africa. Her research interests are in violence prevention from the perspective of child development, and particularly in public health approaches to this, and in developing evidence-based approaches to violence prevention that have a wide reach and are effective in improving children's development and reducing their likelihood of becoming aggressive. Much of her current work is focused on child maltreatment and understanding the epidemiology of risk factors faced by South African children. Next will be Brian Bumbarger. Brian is the founding director of the Evidence-Based Prevention and Intervention Support Center at Penn State University, which is among the world's first centers dedicated to the study and practice of scaling up effective interventions for preventing delinquency and youth drug use and promoting positive youth development. Brian has worked for over a decade to research and support more than 200 replications of evidence-based programs and trials in natural conditions, focusing on issues of dissemination, high-quality implementation, sustainability, community engagement, and cost-benefit analysis. Finally, we have Dean Fixon. Dean has spent his career developing and implementing evidence-based programs, initiating and managing change processes in provider organizations and service delivery systems, and working with others to improve the lives of children, families, and adults. He was co-director of the research group that produced the Teaching Family Model, an early version of an evidence-based program and one of the few that has national certification standards for practitioners and for organizations using the model. Dean is presently a senior scientist at the Frank Porter Graham Child Development Institute at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. So welcome to all the speakers, and Julie.